The dream trip that turned into a nightmare, and the memories I can't let go of. We had always talked about it. The trip of a lifetime, the one that would be our escape from everything. After years of dreaming, we finally planned it. A 2-week adventure across Europe. We saved every penny, planned every detail, from the cities we'd visit to the foods we'd try, to the experiences we'd have together. It was going to be perfect. We were going to make memories that would last forever, memories we could laugh about when we were old. But when we boarded that plane, everything changed. It wasn't anything dramatic at first, just little things, missed trains, wrong directions, delays. But the cracks in our relationship started to show when we arrived in Paris. The city we had always dreamed of seeing together became the place where we began to drift apart. She was distant, impatient, frustrated by every small inconvenience, and I couldn't understand why. I tried to brush it off, tried to be patient, but the tension grew with every passing day. By the time we reached Rome, I could feel the distance between us in every conversation, in every touch. We were still in the same place physically, but emotionally, we were worlds apart. And then, one night, everything came to a head. We had a fight, one of those explosive arguments that you never think will happen, but when it does, it feels like everything is falling apart. She told me she wasn't happy, that she wasn't sure if this trip was even worth it anymore. And in that moment, I realized something I hadn't wanted to admit. She wasn't the same person I had fallen in love with. She had changed, and so had I. The trip, which was supposed to bring us closer, had become the backdrop to the destruction of everything we had built. We finished the trip, but it was a hollow experience. The magic of Paris, the beauty of Venice, the history of Rome, they all faded into the background of our broken relationship. We returned home, but nothing was the same. We tried to pick up where we left off, but the distance between us had already grown too wide. And eventually, we let go. The hardest part wasn't the end of the relationship. It was realizing that the trip we had planned to bring us closer had actually torn us apart. The memories of those places, the places we had dreamed of for so long, now felt like ghosts, reminders of something that was no longer real. I can't look at the photos from that trip without feeling a pang of sadness. The trip that was supposed to be the start of a new chapter in our lives became the end of our story. And sometimes, I wonder if I would have been better off staying home, not chasing the dream of a perfect trip, but simply holding on to the love we once had. Hashtag lost love on the road, hashtag the trip that broke us, hashtag when dreams turn into nightmares.